The boards have been drilled with the drill press. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. Let me take that off. I have the holes drilled at the bottom. That's for a shelf, and for a shelf up at the top, and it's labeled front, back, and that it is the left-hand panel, which will put it right here. I am going to put this all along here. Nice thing about this epoxy table, it'll take care of glue and alcohol and things that are a problem. What I have is a bottom shelf. This is bottom, and this says, I don't doubt that you can see it, but it says be up right on there. So I know that this is the left shelf, which means this is going to have to go in right here. Okay, that's good. Excess glue off of there. And line that up really across the back. I'm going to put that nice and tight, line it all completely up. Okay, I'm going to line this one up on there. A little more on there. That'll be tightened up and evened eventually. I've used a brush on this. I don't see a great advantage of using a brush on it, but you want a nice coating of this acrylic white glue. I'll take this off. Okay. Now this one, that's back, so this is tip. It's nice. Tighten everything up real good. That's out a little bit, which is okay. A little more. Bring that in there. Let's bring this in here. About even. Now then, as soon as that is able to set up a little bit, I will come back and include this board on the top. Okay, so I'm putting these pieces together. This is the back. I realized I put the bottom on the top and the top on the bottom, and that doesn't work. So here I am now, straightening it up. Yeah, that one's going to go in there. Have to move it slightly, but that's good. I'm going to come over here, get my glue, put the glue back on this end again. I had it on here before, and the bottom one was actually pretty hard to get loose. The reason these boards are longer on the end above the shelf is because I'm going to be putting stuff and using the top of the box as a shelf as well as the bottom, and I don't want stuff falling off the ends. There's that. Let's pull this in. That's real good. And that's pretty good right there. Now, I gotta check this. Now, what I'm gonna do, put that right against there. And see what exactly I've got happening on there. And I need to take a little bit off of it. I need to go ahead and put this piece back on here for right now. It will be worked with. I'm gonna, as we're cut just a tad bit long, so I'm gonna cut that off just a little tiny bit. Yeah, there it is. That's just right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this, which side is flattest. This side is. This can go here, and this can go right in there, and just pop right into place right there, and it should be just fine. Oh, yeah, good. And this one, figured out pretty good. Let's see if this lines up good before I glue it in. That and that are right. So yeah, now I can go ahead and glue this one in place. One end and the other. Oh yeah. going to put this one on, and then I'll be able to put it in there and let it dry for a while. I've got all my cabinets cut. I've got all but one of them drilled. Now I have this last one, and this is the right side. This will be turned, this will be the bottom, that'll be the left side over by the window. This will be the right side over here by the doorway. When I get this on there. And I can put that one on there. As a starter. Yeah, that's good. That needs to be tapped just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. This is pretty close over here. Yeah. It's a lot thinner. This is going to have to come a little bit longer than it was because I put on another board. Huh. Move this over just a little bit. That's good. This one right here. How's that feel? That feels right. Yeah, put that one right there. I like to put my pins in after the glue is pretty much set. It just works better for me. Things don't slip as much. If I've got it glued right, then I have less problems pinning. And every once in a while I'll have a joint break in the pinning, but not generally speaking. They usually go pretty good. And so that's what I do. I put the glue on, I let it sit for an hour or two. That's not cured, but it's in pretty good shape. And then I put the pins in, and then I let it dry completely. Okay. Now that's all glued and clamped. And all my corners are right. So that's ready to go. The reason I check that is because every once in a while you get something off just a little bit, even with the clamps and the corner braces and all that. Sometimes you get things off slightly. So that one's ready to go. I may paint these and I may leave them alone. It really just depends on how it goes, whether I paint them or whether I leave it alone. But for right now, I'm going to let it dry for about an hour. Well, I've taken the top clamps off, and I'm putting on a 15/64 bit. These are 1/4-inch bamboo, but I find them to be about 15/64 instead of 1/4-inch. So that is the bit I use, and I'm going to come into these pre-drilled holes, which are a little bit smaller. There we go. Now after I've drilled it, I use a smaller bamboo stick to see what the length is. Yeah. And I measure that on my hand and cut it off with my wood scissors. Pick me up some glue, get the majority of it off of there. Get it into the hole. Pretty tight, and it should be. The reason I like the bamboo rods better than the oak is that oak swells as soon as the glue touches it. And I know it's supposed to, but a lot of times by the time I get it in there, I'm breaking off my pins. Measure another one. Cut another one. Now, I let these dry before I put any real stress on them. But I've got to say that I will handle these after I get the pins in them. They're nice, not with kid gloves, but handle them a little bit easy. But yeah, once I get the pins in, now sometimes I'll have a little bit kind of protrudes on there, and I take a Sureform tool and even that till it's just real flat. Most of the time I don't have any extra, but every once in a while I will. Do these other 3 holes, and then I'm going to take off these bottom 2 clamps. Do the bottom holes, and well, I'll probably do those top holes over there before I take off the bottom clamps. So same process over and over a bunch of times. I like it a whole lot better than screws or nails because wood breathes and swells and contracts together a whole lot better. Yes, different kinds of wood will swell and contract at different rates, but wood breathes and contracts and swells together a lot better than metal and wood do. Eventually, metal and wood tend to not be best friends. And I have stuff that I've done years ago and have never had any problem at all doing it this same way. Sometimes I will put a mark on my drill bit and drill everything to the exact same depth. And when I have help, I'll do that because then I have somebody marking and cutting pins for me. It's a little faster. Whew. Those are there. I'm going to go do the other end, and then I'm going to take these off, do these last 4 pins, and I'm going to put the pins in the bottom here. They're drilled, and I'll do the exact same process on putting those uprights in so that they can be attached to the wall. They are measured to the width of the studs so that I can drill through these and then attach them to the studs when it's time to do that, and it works pretty good. The colors out my back door are beautiful. Yeah. I have a hill and trees, so I don't get many sunsets, but every once in a while it'll be up high enough. And frequently I'll get color in the east, but that's not tonight. One of the things I accomplished last week while most of my students were on spring break was to put the polyurethane on my doors. And I'm quite happy with the way they look. Now that may look a little red for my camera, but honestly it's pretty nice. And it is a lot redder than they were before. But cedar on the trim tends to do that. The other is pine. I've got some stuff cleaned off, not it all the way, but I'm getting it. Because I am just almost done with my workroom, where I will reprocess clay and make fire starter and lots of stuff. There's a good amount. There's a foot above the shelf. The top is a shelf that's a foot up to the ceiling all the way around. They're all level with each other and pretty much level. Yeah, I feel like I got a good job done on it. This one has its curtain on it. It's just a cut down shower curtain. That's what it is. That way my water containers and stuff that's in there won't get covered with clay dust when I'm making up clay. Yeah. I want to put one in here too, and I've got enough to do it. I may want to put some something on that upper shelf, though the bottom shelf, there's really no need to do that because that's basically where the clay vats are going to be. And right now I've got my rolly chair kind of thing. I'm excited to get the stuff out here and get those shelves loaded down. They're pretty sturdy. I intended to make more video on their construction, but it was just so busy. I may have a few little footage, but I don't have much. So all of those uprights were placed where there were studs in the wall on all of them. And then they were screwed into the studs with 3-inch screws. So they'll hold a good amount. They're pretty good. I'm not going to have hundreds of pounds on there, but I am going to load them down pretty good space-wise. I've already started using it. I haven't made up any clay yet.